Jason Kelce, on the other hand, has always been so generous with his time and his opinion and his thoughts. And so the reports that he told teammates in the locker room last night that he probably plans to retire or that he is going to retire, we all saw how emotional he was on the sideline. I think it's fair to let him be the one to actually make that announcement, and we can reflect appropriately when it's the case. But there is no doubt that Jason Kelce is like the face of the franchise over the past decade. He is a Hall of Fame player and has been a joy to cover and is going to leave a massive hole in the organization from a personality standpoint and certainly on the field.
Yeah, well said. And you know him well. You've covered him extensively. I think I think some of the best stories that have been written about Jason over the past decade have been written by you. And I bring that up.
You're no slouch yourself?
What's that?
You said you're no slouch yourself?
He's an institution in that building. He's an institution in the city.
It also says a lot about Jason Kelce that everybody who has been on the beat has their own
exactly.
Jason Kelce story they're proud of because he is that generous with his time.
Yeah, and I try not to make it like about the media, when he's retiring.
I agree. I think we can overrate that.
Yeah, but I think that he's somebody who, as a teammate, certainly as a player, as a citizen in the city, he's created an incredible legacy for himself, and I use the term he's created it. Like it wasn't necessarily it wasn't foisted upon him when he got here. He had to earn it. It happened almost gradually. He's been through a lot in his career. I remember distinctly sitting down and speaking to Jason during times when it seemed like he might be replaced or that he didn't know if he was going to be back. And so for him to, and then each of these past few years, it's been, is he going to retire? Is he going to retire? And it really did seem like this year was going to be the last year when he came back, and just some of the sentiments that I was hearing over the past few weeks. And then you saw the emotion on the sideline from him. But everything that's said about him is true. But we've spoken about how this is Jalen's, this is Jalen's franchise, if you will. But also, as long as Jason Kelce was in there, it was also Jason Kelce's franchise. Jason plays such a big role in that building.
But he has also said that he has tried to purposely step back to let it be Jalen's team.
Yes, you're absolutely right. But it's also he has such a presence that it cannot be ignored.
Sure.
Whether it's on the field, whether it's publicly, you've heard Jeff Stoutland and Nick Sirianni and other players talk about this, like the amount of responsibility he takes at the line of scrimmage. Certainly, some of the things that he does behind the scenes in terms of being that voice of reason or helping some young guys along. E.J. Smith had a good story in the Inquirer about this the other day. Yeah, it's a tremendous void for the Eagles, but more than that, it's a tremendous career that deserves celebration and deserves appreciation. And I look forward to hearing what he says. I imagine, he has a competing podcast from ours. I imagine he'll talk about it on that. But yeah, I'm eager to hear what he says, and I'm eager to speak with him about this because, like you mentioned, he's not afraid to show emotion. He's not afraid to be reflective and be honest. And again, this is not about the media, but like I've sat down and talked with him about what comes next, and he's been very deliberate and like thinking a lot about what's coming after football. So I'm fascinated to see the next stage of his career as well.
Well, he will certainly have lots of options, and I think he will be very eloquent about the whole thing whenever it is that he does speak.
We all silly like the mayor.